세러데이 쇼다운. 디플러스 기아 대 하나생명 e스포츠.
Oh God! Speaking of nerfed into oblivion, that's a Seraphine as well. What's happening here? All right, Fiesta. All right, Fiesta. The Lulu to come out from Lehens as well. He's had some great games on this one, but man, which patch are we playing? Oh, it's 13-14. It's top of the screen, as we can see right there on this particular comp. So fun stuff. Let's see how it goes. We hop onto the Rift for game number 1.
Very binary, but very strong if set up in the right conditions.
Yeah, and if you get ahead, then you can start to play pretty aggressively. I don't know how that one is going to go.
I do.
Cuz going to be very safe on this Sejuani.
I do feel like Irene is kind of like, you know, the storm chasers, the tornado hunters. He's like a Wukong hunter. He's like,
like Helen Hunt. Yep.
The conditions are right for a cyclone here. He's like, I can see we got Seraphine. Hold up.
For Wild Growth and the added CC there, but Polymorph is so incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
And even though the Lulu has been nerfed as far as her aggression, and speaking of which, Cuz is moving in towards this bottom side. There's the Gravitum. The Winter's Wrath value is just gigantic, and that is going to be the most comfortable first blood I've seen in a while.
Yeah, just kind of a drive-by.
Yeah. Aiming now, holding onto this wave, is infernuming it as, the Polymorph onto Jiwoo once again. The actual advance onto Lehens, and he just dies. All right, Nongshim, I see you. They are answering back. They will not go quietly into the good night.
Too much Cassante Prio, too many combo angles. We don't want to fall behind here early as
Oh, yeah, there's the flash forward for the Q. World Ender does come down as Keen is just desperately trying to get himself out of there. Emperor's divided the mid lane in the meanwhile as Fiesta is going to be taken down low. Keen not going to survive this, though, as it's a great encore. Will it be enough is the question. The answer is absolutely yes. Drops the beat, and BDD is not going to be able to find that kill. So, just a kill. Going over to Nongshim there.
Yeah, kill plus Herald. So you get the Herald ups into overextending a little bit there into a very aggressively positioned Sylvia's Jiwoo.
Oh, okay. Ulti is going to be avoided with the Featherstorm. I think it was avoided just anyway, as Battle Dance from Peter is going to keep him alive. But the Featherstorm means that Jiwoo is pretty diveable.
But, I mean, Aphelios is getting plate gold bottom side as well. And feels like a pretty good trade. 45 seconds to go for this next streak as well. They will have Prio 4 here on bottom side. Herald to try to secure the turret. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Going for this one, if you get all that plate gold, feels real nice. Plus 175 for Nongshim at this moment in time, as Cuz will be seen on this ward.
Yeah, there's a very nice teleport ward as Jiwoo. Oh dear, the Wild Growth for the extra CC, but Sylvie's making his way in. Featherstorm comes down, Cuz gonna flash out of the way. It's a decent Glacial Prison, but it's on to Peter. Jiwoo will survive for the moment. And KT did not have enough damage, but they will be able to claim first turret here and grab the plate out of it as well. Feels pretty good, but a kill would have felt better. Nongshim, good defensive play.
Yeah, really nicely done, but that's the problem with this type of play when Sejuani is there. It's really hard to win this one out, even with the Cyclone available with Flash. You're just trying to do a little bit too much here as the side of Nongshim, and it won't be successful at the end of the day. 150, 1200 for aiming.
Whoa, aiming is just flashing. Jiwoo is just dead.
Sorry, 1500 for aiming. And it is
He gets the Sand Soldier over, and Cuz just biding his time, looking for the angle there as the Q3 does come down. Speaking of Qs, Keen's now going to try and end the world as Peter is just going to get obliterated. Empress Divide finds them all, and Sylvie's going to go down. It's a double for aiming, and BDD will be taken out here as Jiwoo does call back the blades, but it's now just Dundun left alive.
BDD from getting killed there, and the turret from going over. His cousin's going in now.
Yeah, Peter is gonna get Wild Growth as well as he's now diving towards aiming. He's taking a lot of damage as Lehens is trying desperately to keep him alive. My God, he did so much before he fell down. They go 1 for 1 though, and that's probably good for Nongshim here as KT backing away. Keen will turn up now as it's an honest 4v4 for Nongshim. They have themselves an 80 carry who still has Featherstorm available. Decent little Q3 there as Dundun is actually playing a great game of Cassante here today.
Every time this guy gets Cassante, you just have to show him the respect that he deserves. And I mean, they're chipping away at Cuz every time he comes in on this Sejuani is, okay, wait.
All right, they're looking for BDD here. They dive on top of him. He goes golden though, and now they could be caught overextended. There's the Emperor's Divide, and the monkey is swatted. Oh, that is a pretty high-value stopwatch. I mean, let's just say that.
I appreciate the attempt because you've got to try to do something, but this wasn't the angle. They didn't have control, and BDD had stopwatch.
Yeah, he's going to go for a back now as well. He can teleport back in as Peter doesn't find the grand entrance whatsoever. And Dindin, he's tanking it up, but he's going to have to get out of there. Keen, 50% health. He's going to look to go back. Try and get some health life stealed up as Lahen's off to the side. BDD in potentially a little bit of trouble. Doesn't have the ultimate available, but still has the Sand Soldiers and aiming. Getting aggressive.
Getting a little bit blindsided by this.
Yeah, they are going to get word of it now as Keen just dives in. He's like, nah, I'm not going to give this one up as aiming's booking it. What the heck? Okay, no, it was secured. It was just the Drake from before as now Cuz looking to try and right this wrong. It's a massive Moonlight Vigil, but a lot of the damage avoided there onto Jiwoo. BDD looking for the flank angle, but he's going to get stopped. There's no Emperor's Divide, and he's taken down. Nongshim are turning it. They take the Baron. They obliterate KT. What the heck is going on, Wolf?
Okay. Nongshim playing this so well. Cuz is in trouble. He's going to go down. It's going to be an ace, it looks like here. Sylvie trying to slow him up. Can he get out? He's got the turret.
Oh my goodness. All right, Cuz is going to get taken out. There it is, and the white flag is waved by Sylvie.
Okay, so they got...
says goodbye to Cuz. The Noodle Boys are really having a great one here. They're going to have to keep themselves vigilant, though. KT's composition is by no means an early game one. As aiming, he's got the more long-range weaponry here. As Cuz taking a lot of damage, does need to be a little careful, but there's the Glacial Prison. Dindin trying to get out. Look at the AoE as Jiwoo. Oh no, Keen does get the flash out from him, but he has to go golden. BDD also very, very low as the AoE is there from Nongshim. They'll take down this inner turret now, and they're just moving forward like a freight train.
Stone, it's not like she's offering a ton of sustain, but the shields really stack up here while she burns away at the health with the Leandries. Ouch, indeed.
Wow. Okay. BDD with the cool hat that he has is kind of scary.
He has to be the one who carries this fight. I truly believe.
Ooh, Dindin on vision right now. Cuz should be able to get in to try and make this one a 50-50. We'll see how it is going to happen as Nongshim, they are just committed to it. Dindin's going to push him away, and that is just Baron. Taken here by Nongshim. Decisive of the Noodle Boys. Yeah, I mean, they can just go back and buy more items and then set up a siege.
They were just so careful and so cautious there, and KT knew.
And Nongshim continuing to push this one up. Keen on a flank angle, though this could be really scary. Jiwoo getting down to about half health, and BDD finding the Sand Soldier auto attacks. Keen just massive, but he goes down to his GA, and now BDD may be overextended. Into the backline goes Dindin, trying to keep them busy. Keen will survive for the moment, but look at the health bars of this team. Emperor's Divide gets into the backline, but is it going to be enough is the question. Dindin's taken out. Keen, can you find it? As Sylvie dives on top of aiming, but he's just going to press Q and get out of there. Dindin is down, BDD is down, but it's a 4-for-4 as aiming, taking matters into his own hands. I don't know about it. That's Sylvie shutting him down. And now Nongshim, with the amount of sustain they have, they can continue pushing back in now.
I mean, aiming, he dealt with the Wukong the last time, but he's not going to deal with it this time. And I think that is just going to be game. I don't know about that play, aiming on the flash forward. That may just be the end of it.
It may just be Peter finding the grand entrance, but not onto Cuz, unfortunately. Still, these Nexus turrets are going to be taken down. Lahen's, Keen, and Cuz not going to be able to do it. And the Noodle Bros will take game number 1 against KT, possibly.
Graph becomes Nongshim favorite. It was right at that moment at like 25 minutes that they got back control of the game, and they just never let it go. I think you probably just keep this one hidden and lock in a jungler right now. You could even pick Rel and just keep it open-ended, and then you could play Neela.
He's doing it!
Or you could just show Neela now. I mean, that's also fine. That's also fine.
You can go toe-to-toe. One of the things that really does shut Fiora down is being able to shoot her from a distance. There's not many people that can do that. On the Nongshim side, Maokai fits into their composition quite beautifully and also has been a really high priority pick in our previous series. The Maokai for Sylvie, actually kind of fantastic in these team fights. I'm a bit worried for KT rolls to Wolf. Let's jump into the rift for game number 2. Oh dear. Is he actually in that brush? Did he make it all the way? Oh my goodness, he's all the way around. Okay, the dash through. And Jiwoo will make it to relative safety.
Good block from Peter.
Yeah, Peter is going to get his battle dance cancelled, but half of it did go through, so he is going to be all right.
If this, as you say, yes, Kwangdong will be out, and it'll just be Nongshim, DRX, and Live Sandbox in the running. And he also got a ward as well to make sure that Sylvie isn't doing any weird pathing here. So they have a lot of information right now.
Oh, Lahen's actually going to get knocked up here as he's doing battle with Jiwoo and Peter. I don't know about it, but the bone plating is now down. Cleanse has to be used to get rid of the Ignite.
Denying these early levels and getting level 2 first and constantly putting this pressure on exactly what you want to do is KT.
Wow. That's
damage.
A lot of damage.
Yeah.
That one hurt.
And
level 1 to level 2, that'll do it.
Because he wants this.
And you can see Nongshim also want this mid lane fight, but let's see whether this dive is going to work out. They decide that they want to go all in onto Lahen's, who was tanking up the turret. Jiwoo going to flash away, and Nongshim survive!
Yep. All flashes down here in the bottom lane for Nongshim, however, but still they will stave off the pressure. They will be able to survive here as Jiwoo all-time across Challengers and LCK 8-3 on this pick.
Pretty cool. Here we go.
All right, so Jiwoo's first-person view of the Neela. Doesn't have that Q locked in just yet. Gonna go for the W here instead. Dashes aggressively onto Lahen's, and then great play from Peter. Flashes back. Cuz takes too much damage, can't stick around anymore. Clean.
Exactly. It's all just like gank, gank, gank. And now, Cuz has the same idea. He has a level advantage, but he doesn't have positional advantage. Fiesta getting in the Emperor's Divide is going to be heartbreaking. Oh, actually Flash, because Cuz is, of course, only level 5. I normally just default to saying Heartbreaker first when it comes to the Viego, but he doesn't have that one available just yet. So it does look to disengage. There's another hook to come through from Lahen's. Holding onto a very large minion wave, but not a lot of health bar.
They know he's up here, right? But still.
Yeah, not going to be able to do the do-si-do here as the Grand Challenge is executed, but Peter is going to dive forward. Cuz in trouble, does have level 6, and this time he'll be able to get out as the Nature's Grasp. Not going to be enough there as Keen even turning around to get a cheeky auto attack onto a minion.
As, Sylvie?
Yeah, Sylvie just immediately going to be lit on fire. There's the Nature's Grasp. He's looking to flash to try and get himself out of the way as the Killer Instinct was invested, as was the Depth Charge. So many flashes as Fiesta looks for Lahen's. He's just going to walk his way north. Sylvie knows that they have control vision in this area as Jiwoo's flashing. There's the apotheosis. And Lahen's nowhere more to move. He had the fancy footwear on. He was trying to get away, and it did not work. As now, there's an all-out onto the Fiora. Dundun wanting to go 1v1 against the duelist herself. That is very, very scary. Cuz is moving up as well.
Flash Heartbreaker.
Yeah, I think he may not make it out of this one, but it is a very cute little attempt, and Keen is going to even up the kill score for what feels like as long as he would ever like. And Rift Arrow going to go down into this mid lane as Cuz is looking for Fiesta. There's the Heartbreaker. Empress Divide comes down, and he manages to keep himself up. That's the double knock-up onto both Tibbers and to Cuz. And Fiesta trying to keep himself alive. Hook going to land max range with the apotheosis from Jiwoo. He's just wagging his whip around, and Lahen's almost gets taken down. But in the end, the 2v1 is going to reign true here for KT. Cuz a little far away, though.
It's so crazy how comfortable Peter and Jiwoo look in this lane and how out of sorts Lahen's looks as he's going in for this one, though.
Yeah, another hook is going to come down. Slipstream goes through there from Jiwoo as they get the Nature's Grasp. Lahen's going to move up towards Keen. He's going 1v4 right now as he finds a riposte, but now that is down. He's dashing through. They managed to take them down. Keen's still alive. How is this Fiora living for so long and they just wipe them off the map? KT! Oh, you can't do it to him like this.
I think they might. Atlas is down. This turret is going to go. It's going to be the second.
That Lahen's actually just took a long time to kill. As VDD, Emperor's Divide going to come through. It lands onto 2, but we do see Cuz trying to mitigate that CC. Stuns up Fiesta. They take down VDD, but Neela is also dead. And now Peter will be chased down. They will die fighting, but unfortunately, Noodles fans, they will die.
Now there's a third game left in this series for Nongshim to play out. The Kaisa going to be doing big damage. Lahen's hands off the keyboard watching because he's the first to die.
But Nongshim, I just don't know. I mean, Bouncer Tibbers. Bouncer Tibbers standing just outside this this Baron pit as Sylvie is going to get tagged. Nature's Grasp does come through. Depth Charge down as well. Man, that ultimate from Sylvie keeping himself alive. But now they don't have it for any sort of attempted steal of this Baron.
Aiming.
Oh my goodness, okay.
Your jungle is my jungle. I would like to annex the jungle.
He has all of the jungles. As the snare going to come through, he's going to get hooked even after the cleanse, and the Akathian Rain will be good night to this Neela. Peter almost dies as well as aiming just has so much damage. The use by date is well and truly up here on Nongshim in this game, I believe, as this inhibitor is going to go down as well. And KT moving further forward. And yeah, they managed to come back from 6.5K. I don't know whether this is going to be a similar story at 11,000 gold, the advantage. That is only going to keep extending. Inner turret goes down there as Keen is going to usher through another minion wave towards the bottom lane. Nongshim, they don't have their carry. 8 seconds until he gets there, as that's a massive Tibbers into the back line. And there's the challenge. It's going to be issued once again as the tree falls. The Cassante down as well. Cuz avoids the Emperor's Divide. Give this guy the POG as Apotheosis picks up 1,000 gold. And Jiwoo actually gets himself out of there one more time. Still only 3 members left.
I mean, it's not over till it's over. Those Nexus turrets still alive. As Keen is like, are you sure about that, Wolf? Because I'm up in here on top of this Cassante 3 levels up, and I'm not sure if the Nexus turrets are in fact alive. Has anyone checked? The observers are going to check, and technically they have vital signs at the moment, but Keen would like to debate the topic.
Exactly, and they are getting weaker and weaker as these super minions are doing some work, aiming, taking pot shots here at Fiesta and Peter. Jiwoo now back here with Dundun. Sylvie also getting split off as the inner turret is going to be taken down. War of attrition here from KT as they just siege, and this is the problem with Fiora and her existence. Not to mention the problem with having 2 inhibitors down. As Nongshim, they're going to need to make a play, and here it is! They find aiming into the back line as he tries to dive out, but it's not going to work. Now the Nature's Grasp comes in. Aiming stays alive for what feels like way too long, and Keen is just winning the game, by the way. But let's do the team fight first. Apotheosis does come in. Tibbers just brushes it off until Jiwoo eventually takes that 50 gold, but there is another more important 50 gold that Keen is looking for. Still, he's going to back away, not biting off too much, and now waiting for the rest of his teammates to come forward. Lahen's throwing in the auto attacks. Ko's going to be here as well, as he's going to get a few possessions before they say goodnight to the Nexus. And we are going the distance this evening as KT takes us to a game number 3.
It was close until it wasn't.
It really was. I think a shout out needs to be made for Cuz as well. I think that he played extraordinarily well.
Completely forgot about this champion that's never been R5'd before ever because she's so incredibly strong. But in the microcosm of this series, with all the other weird picks that Nongshim have prioritized and the really strange but also strong.
Very interesting stuff here from KT. Nongshim all in on the Zeri. We're kind of used to it. Let's get onto the Rift for game 3.
BD's going to tease here. I didn't want to get into it.
That's a flash hook. They get the flash out of Fiesta already. That he had an itchy trigger finger there as he's got a question mark blitzcrank. You love to see it.
I love how aggressive Lahen's has been in these last few weeks at level 1 on basically every champion, whether it's Lulu, Nautilus in this case, as we saw last game as well. Just always putting the pressure on, always getting value out of Hex Flash super early on. It's the Atlas way.
I love it.
That's on cooldown, you know?
You can't get any value from Hex Flash if you have real Flash. So why not just Flash level 1?
As BDD picks that up, so a little bit of gold coming back as we're going for the
All
engage.
right, yeah, they're looking for it. They get the knock up onto Jiwoo. He's going to skate away as Buster Shot comes through as well. And the explosive charge not going to be enough alongside the ignite as Cuz, yeah, he's looking for it. Level 6 available. Sylvie is all the way towards the top side taking this Herald as Jiwoo does have to break his back. And you can see Fiesta here just trying to defend his bottom lane. Desperately trying to get this Zeri out of here. There's the ulti that was aiming. He's moved maybe a little bit too far forward. He rocket jumps to get himself out as BDD. He's looking for the Pop Blossom and he will find it. There goes the Zeri. First blood goes down, but the Tristana will be traded for. And now Fiesta looking to get out of the way of Lahen's. Vi does pick up a turret plate. That's pretty cool.
Chaos!
And, Fiesta is going to land a charm onto Lahen's, who lands a hook onto Fiesta, who then gets stunned up by Cuz. And that's everybody's name here. Cuz going to miss that stab, but does pick up the auto attack. And Sylvie, he's just trying to take from KT anything that he can amidst the chaos. In this game, we'll just have to see whether Dundun can find the same Game 1 power that he had and not channel Game 2. As speaking of things that could be a problem, Peter is going to get bursted, but he does crash away from this fight. Jiwoo skating in, finds a huge ultimate. Certification might be imminent here, Wolf, as it's a double kill for Fiesta as well. BDD's in trouble, and Nongshim, oh man, this is looking real interesting at this stage. The charm just barely going wide there as Fiesta not going to be able to lock that one down, but that is not the story of this one. Teleport comes in.
This is not looking great, but he's got a rel to back him up. Control ward is placed, and it looks like Keen's just going to have to walk it out.
Yeah, not going to be able to stay and look for Jiwoo here, so he will be able to go home.
So Keen teleports in, and aiming is going topside here, as it looks like they're looking for Dindin.
Yeah, Unstoppable Force does come in, as now Cuz trying to stab forward. Peter here. Dindin, can you get the turnaround? There's the crash down. The Magnet Storm. Cassante things potentially going to happen as Cuz is taken down. Do you recognize Dindin? He is the god of Cassante in odd-numbered games, Wolf.
And that is going to be a massive lead for Nongshim now, 2,100. I'm swapping lanes, so we're going to get value in two places. Keen looks for the all-in. He's going to buy time, then aiming on Tristan's going to come over now. Lehens is here. He's not alone.
Okay, Jiwoo taking a lot of damage. That explosive charge did a whole bunch of work, yeah. Vi is going to vacate because the Zeri is already dead. So KT, we're on a little bit of a Nongshim high there for a moment. But they are going to bring us back down to earth.
Pick topside here, as this is going to be the outplay from Dundun. Pulls him into the rel engage here. All outs the Viego, then comes in to set up for the double. Just outplaying him. Beautifully done here.
Just beautiful.
This is actually going to be a good thing. Like, knowing that he's there is good for KT, because they're like, yeah, I'm here. You guys can't stop us from pushing this.
Oh, well, Sylvie and Peter, there's the Magnet Storm. They dive in on top of aiming. The Vault Breaker combo with the cease and desist is beautiful. And Lehens is just going to be a kill set up for the Ahri. Keen now was fighting against Dundun. Cuz was coming up. BDD there as well, but with everyone dead, I don't think they can go for this play because Nongshim, they can get over here. They've also got Hex Gates. Of course, there's Hex Gates in this game.
Of course. Just let it go. Like, you don't have that much control. Once you start seeing the members of Nongshim, you're just back away. Dindin getting caught.
Yeah, Pop Blossom does come through. There's the Unstoppable Force, and there's a lack of ability to play the game for Dindin.
He is really in here this time, though.
That is him. Yeah, the Pop Blossom comes through as Fiesta's got his Spirit Rush available, so he is out of there. A trade of ultimates between the top laners, though.
KT are bounty hunters, but they are failing the hunts. They're just not getting Fiesta here.
As Sylvie might be found, though, as there's the teleport in. Cease and desist comes down, and the ulti's in from Jiwoo. Lehens going to be taken down. They get massive knockups as they're all piling in. Jiwoo is just free hitting as Keen is looking for it. They didn't find the Unstoppable Force onto Jiwoo, but does it even really matter as Dindin finds the double knockup once again. Fiesta isn't going to find the charm, though, and Dindin will explode. And the Zeri was just out of the fight too early. Wagon Wheel doesn't find Fiesta whatsoever, as Aiming's looking to put out these fires. He flashes into a charm, but it don't matter. There's 700 gold for the Tristana. Shape Splitter pretty good at that. As this turret not long for the world, and there is the Unstoppable Force right on top of Jiwoo. Gets caught out of position and immediately destroyed. Pop Blossom's gorgeous as well, and they take Sylvie. This is the KT that we were expecting today, layering the CC gorgeously, just in time for Baron.
And not fall into any pitfalls, none of these traps. Keen?
Yeah, King could be in trouble. There's cease and desist. He's taking a fair bit of damage for a tanky boy, but there is the Unstoppable Force, and there is the death. That is going to be Dundun picking up that kill.
Okay, there's a little bit of a pitfall. Now, it's not for nothing here as KT are going to push down that mid inhibitor. They need to protect Lehens.
Yeah, if Lehens dies as well, then maybe this is a little bit more worth. And he is going to die. This is a minute until the Baron is up and available, and Tristana will take an inhib turret and an inhibitor.
Most creative way to get the inhibitor I've ever seen, but like, you know, Keen, he's got a varied play style.
Well, that is a weird Magnet Storm. What the heck just happened there? Can I have a slow-mo replay of what just happened to Peter?
He just buster shotted him to the moon.
Yeah.
Hard forcing the fight. Speaking of hard forcing the fight.
All right, there's a flash from BDD. Jiwoo is dead immediately. Everfrost does a decent amount of work there as now they're just looking for the disengage. BDD's pretty low as Fiesta wants to find the Orbit Deception, but Aiming says, nope, you are going down. And KT, they find the picks of exactly the players they wanted, and they will now push even further forward. Remember, the door is open here in this mid lane. They've got super minions moving in. This could just be the end of game 3 right here, and KT keeping their chances of first place alive. Magnet Storm from Peter, but there is just not enough damage. Even Cassante is not going to be out. Well, he's able to get one kill there, but is then going to be taken down. And Aiming, he's got plenty of damage here. 8, 3, and 3 on this Tristana. Nexus turrets to go down, but I imagine the KT respect Nongshim a little bit more now, as we're going to have to say goodbye to their chances in the playoffs. Guangdong Freaks breathe a pretty heavy sigh of relief.
It is not completely in their hands. They will have to, of course, win that that Live Sandbox series and hope that Gen.G lose or then beat them in a tiebreaker. And they were very close to straight up losing to Nongshim in this series as well.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jisun for the PUG interview, joined by Keen and Aiming after their win up against Nongshim Red Force. Congratulations on your 15-match winning streak, guys. This is the final week of the regular season. And we actually had a very close series between you and Nongshim. How was the series overall? Like, all 3 games were really, really tough, so we barely won. So I'm just so relieved that we managed to get a win. What about you, Aiming? Yeah, today Nongshim really put up a good fight. It was really hard for us as well, but I'm so just relieved that we won. So KT decided to remove Seraphine in Game 2 after seeing what Fiesta could do with Seraphine in game number 1. Yeah, I think Seraphine has a really big power in team fights, and we were actually not ready to deal with it, so we decided to just ban it away. And then Aiming, when Jiwoo locked in Nilla, one of his iconic picks, how did you plan out your early laning phase up against the Nilla pick? I was expecting Nilla from Jiwoo, so we were trying to ban it away in the second phase, but they locked it in the third pick, so we were like, still we have stronger late game comp, so let's just focus until we hit the power spike. Keen, I think Fiora in game 2 was the key factor, as she is the counter into K'Sante and also counter into Nilla. Yeah, well, there were so many bans towards top lane, and Fiora looked to be a best pick into the enemy's comp. And Aiming, moving on to the third game, we had last pick, Tristana on the side of KT roster. Tell us about the bot lane Tristana. I really didn't have many options, so the best pick left available was Tristana, and we decided to give it a go. And then Keen, your Malphite in game 3 was like a Grand Canyon, you know? It was unbreakable, and we were waiting to see if that Malphite can make some play in such a decisive moment. What made you decide to lock in Malphite in game 3? I think a Malphite is viable anytime, and whenever I get to lock it in, I just get good results. So I was feeling really comfortable. How can you play Malphite into K'Sante? Any tips? Nothing special, you know? Sometimes you have your lucky day and then you get to win lane, and that happened to me today. Aiming, well, game 3, Nongshim Red Force was also showing up a great potential. Were you scared at some point? We had a lot of 4v4 actions, and we lost back-to-back. So we were a little bit behind in terms of the scalings and items, but Key's Malphite came to seal the deal, and we were able to turn the table around.
그리고 기인 선수가요. 오랜만에 또 이렇게 마이크를 잡게 되셨습니다. 보이스에서 기인 선수가
Welcome back to the PUG interview, but we were surprised to find out that you were actually very talkative in the player voice comms, but we were not able to hear from you on PUG interview recently. Any message over to all the KT roster teammates? Well, in fact, I wish we won a clean 2-0 and stuff. And sometimes when we win 2-0, a lot of people mention me. But today, like a lot of my players actually like, I love you, Keen, you know, thank you, Keen. But today we had a very stressful series and no one mentioned me. So it feels bad, to be honest. I don't care if they mention me on POG interview. I just wish we have more 2-0 wins.
선수도 팀원분들에게 하고 싶은 이야기 있으실까요?
What about aiming? Any message to all the KT teammates? Thank you so much for your awesome performance. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
사랑해라고 또 마음을 전해주셨습니다. 자, 승리를 할 때마다 새로운 기록을 써내려가고
KT
있는
Roaster, with
KT
this
롤스터인데요.
win today, you guys are now on a
오늘
15 match
이게
winning
단일
streak.
정규 시즌 매치 연승
Now this is the
역대 2위
longest
기록을 세운 거거든요.
winning streak history in the LCK, second longest in the LCK history. Are you looking forward to adding some more to that streak? So we have one last match left available. I wish we can get another win there and then climb up to the first place in terms of the winning streak record. Now with this win, you guys are tied for first place together with Gen G, and your next opponent and the very last opponent is Leave Sandbox. We gotta win 2-0 to solidify our position on the top of the LCK, so we gotta make sure that we're gonna win 2-0 and end on the first place. Yeah, we will work hard in order to close on the first place, but I would rather want to focus on improving our performance. Now this will be the end of the interview from KT Roasters Keen and Aiming, and now we will be joined by Nongshim Red Force players as they had the final match of the regular season.
이어서 오늘은 KT 선수분들뿐만 아니라 남아있는 정규 시즌 마지막 경기에서도
Please wait a moment for all the Nongshim players to join us on the stage.
인터뷰 진행해 보도록 하겠습니다. 오늘 아쉽게 패배했지만 끝까지
Despite this crushing loss, I wish all of the fans in the arena to give it up for Nongshim for their hard performance also, and also for joining us for the interview. We are here joined by Dundun, Sylvie, Fiesta, Quad, Ju, and Peter. 6 players in total. Please give it up for Nongshim players.
네, 농심 레드포스 선수분들과 인터뷰 나눠보겠습니다. 안녕하세요.
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
이번 시즌 마지막 경기를
And that was the very last series of Nongshim Red Force this summer.
먼저 든든 선수
To start off, Dundun, how do you feel that you just finished your summer season run? Time passed really fast, you know. I think I was not able to play up to the ideal level as a top laner, so I feel sorry for my teammates. I wish I could have played better. However, everyone thought Dundun performed even better coming into the round 2. Do you also feel the same way? Do you think you stepped up a lot? Well, it depends, you know. But there are some days where I was like, oh, I'm doing pretty well. But there were also some days where I was underperforming. So I wish next time I can come back stronger. Now let's hear from Sylvie. Sylvie, you were the centerpiece of Nongshim's aggressive play style. What is the biggest takeaway from this summer season? Early on in the season, our map play, our macro play were not up to par, but as we headed into the latter half of the season, we were able to display a better macro play, and we improved a lot on that. What is your resolution for next year? I wish I can become a pro player who has a constant form.
좋습니다. 또 응원하고 기대하겠습니다. 자, 이어서 피에스타 선수
And next up is Fiesta.
피에스타 선수도 정말 많은 성장을 이뤄낸
You as well, you were able to show us a great improvement throughout the summer season. In fact, compared to the spring season, I have improved a little bit, but I have a long way to go. I really gotta work harder, learn even more in order to become a better player. What kind of mid laner do you want to become in the future? So I'm really confident in aggressive playstyle, but now I want to add some more consistency maybe, you know. I want to be a lot more reliable. So I want to focus on that while I practice, and also farming, you know. My CS numbers are a little bit not up to par. So yeah, there are a lot of parts where I really need to work on.
더 기대가 됩니다. 자, 이어서 쿼드 선수도 만나보겠습니다.
Now let's hear from Quad, another mid laner on the side of Nongshim. I think this summer season meant a lot to you. You were able to make a return as a professional player.
LCK 복귀하게 돼서 정말 저도 기분 좋고
It feels amazing to be able to make it back to the LCK. And together with the Nongshim players, I was able to learn so much, improve so much. And after winning the first match, I mentioned that my players are improving so fast, but I'm like being delayed, and I think it remained the same way. So I wish I can also catch up with them, but it feels amazing to see my players improve so fast like this. I'm so proud of them.
사실 이번 복귀가
Well,
성공적이라고는
I cannot really say my return to the LCK was successful,
라인전이든 그냥 게임 진행하는
but
방법이든
I was able to improve a lot of my laning phase and the macro play, so I think it's gonna help me a lot in my future and my life as a whole.
거라고 생각합니다. 앞으로 또 열렬히 응원하도록 하겠습니다. 이어서 지우 선수
Now let's hear
만나보겠습니다.
from
지우
Jiwoo.
선수 데뷔 시즌부터 아주 강렬한 임팩트를 보여주셨습니다.
You started off your career in the LCK with a bang. You are actually one of the most impressive players on the side of Nongshim. I was not expecting this much of a, you know, reaction from the fans, and it feels amazing that a lot of people actually pay attention to me. A lot of people said, you know, this series will come down to the bottom lane and it will be a rough matchup for Nongshim as KT has a very strong bot lane, but you guys were able to put up a great fight. Well, even though they are one of the strongest teams in the LCK, I didn't want to feel small. I just wanted to do what I usually do, and if I managed to pull that off, we would be able to still win out the lane. And Jiu, what is your goal as a professional player? I made my debut in the LCK, so I was not fully prepared, but next season I will be able to show empowered strengths of myself and also reduced weakness of myself. So I want to say I'm going to come back with perfection of Jiwoo. Now let's hear from Peter. You just won your first POG of the summer season. It's such a bummer you guys were not able to translate into a series win, but how do you look back at the summer season? Well, thanks to Quad, I was able to learn a lot about macro plays. And today's series, or even other previous series, I don't think I was able to pull off the best macro play possible, so I'm actually pretty mad about myself and my performance, and I want to say sorry to my teammates too. However, you guys started off this series with a great win in game number 1, and Peter, you shouted this is the Nongshim CL Classic, and I think Nongshim was able to show their dominance from time to time, all together as a team. So, like, there were some moments where we were able to have a great success on Seraphine. So, not only the players but also our coaching staff worked so hard to bring the best draft possible, which was the Seraphine comp. But in the end, we were not able to have a serious win. So it's a bummer. We have so many Nongshim fans still remaining in the arena supporting you guys. A lot of fan signs supporting Nongshim's very last series of the year. Any message for all the Nongshim fans? Sylvie as the captain of Nongshim Red Force. Spring split, our result was not good, and the summer season it was not good as well. But still, I'm so grateful that so many fans were always here to support us, and I promise next year things will be a lot better, and we will make playoffs next year. Thank you so much, Nongshim Red Force, once again for this interview, and this will be the end of the team interview from Nongshim with their last match of the series, and I'm gonna pass it back to the space. Thank you.